Now on CoastTV News.
Tariffs turn up the heat on appliance prices. Fridges, washers, dryers feeling the pressure.
Repairs to the Rehoboth Beach drawbridge, what DelDOT is looking to do with a 3-month project.
The north side of the Indian River Inlet finally reopens. What's next for the project there?
And a new parking strategy for the annual Sea Witch Festival, what the city is trying to achieve.
It's looking like our soggy situation will continue for the rest of the rainy night. More on that coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Tariffs hurting appliances essential to your home. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with continued coverage on tariffs walloping businesses here on the coast.
Tonight we're focusing on appliances, washers, dryers, microwaves, refrigerators. They are essentials, right? And at Millman's Appliances, these are big household purchases that are hundreds, thousands of dollars. So the tariffs on those items are going to dry out the savings. Millman's says over the last several weeks they've bought a lot more appliances from within the U.S., and they want to help the community shop tariff-free as much as they can. Millman's says especially because so many parts make up each appliance, they're importing products from spaces all across the globe.
Well, that's the economy of scale, unfortunately. Yes, the prices will go up. There's nothing we can do about that. I think as consumers, we all understand that. We all feel and share that burden of price increases. Maybe we shop for the things that are not tariff affected.
Now, Millman says they import appliances from 91 different manufacturers, and out of all of those, only 5 are in the U.S. So tariffs are affecting almost everything there, and we have much more on that at 6. Also, we're talking lumber. The U.S. plans to hike existing duties on Canadian lumber by more than double. And that's before President Trump's planned tariffs take effect. According to filings published in the Federal Register, the Commerce Department plans to raise duties on Canada from 14.5% to 34.5%. The U.S. claims that Canadian lumber industry is government subsidized, but in a statement, the Premier of British Columbia called the duties unjustified and warned they will drive up housing costs for Americans.
Right now, fear growing on Wall Street as global markets sink. Maribel Gonzalez shows us how U.S. stocks opening lower today due to concerns about how the Trump administration's tariffs could affect the global economy.
Whiplash on Wall Street. On Monday, U.S. stocks opened in bear market territory. That means nearing a 20% decline from a recent market peak as a global trade war causes financial fears.
This is a shock that markets haven't really dealt with before.
But what does this mean for you? Financial experts say, don't panic.
This is not the time to be selling and running for the hills. If you're not in, this is a good time to get in.
But having cash on hand outside the markets is necessary.
My recommendation is about 40% in cash and bonds, cash in positions like money markets or high yield savings where you're getting interest on it.
Experts say if you're near retirement age, working one additional year is one way to meet your long-term retirement needs.
Don't let the short term affect your planning for the long term. And for people that are just retiring, retirement is a long-term plan.
Cutting back on spending and diversifying your investments may help too.
You don't want to have to sell stocks at depressed prices. That will burn through your nest egg at a much faster rate.
And if you're not already doing so, invest.
Often the best days in the market follow some of the worst.
Most of all, experts say stay the course because historically, the market recovers.
You've got to be in it to win it, even in the face of volatility.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, what is your biggest concern with tariffs?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 48% say market drops, just like we saw. 31% say product prices. Only 1% are concerned about fewer options, and 20% have no concerns.
And I'll be interested. We'll see if these numbers change throughout the evening. You can go vote at CoastTV.com or use the CoastTV mobile app. And don't forget, you can also leave us a comment. And we're taking a live look into Lewis right now. It has been a gray and gloomy day. But here to brighten up your spirits, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
Let's just say the only thing we need to concern ourselves with is just how bright and beautiful tomorrow will be. And that's the positive side of the forecast. The not so positive side is, remember last week when I was talking about the temperature dropping like crazy? It's going to happen, folks. Prepare yourself for 20s. That's right, 20s. All right, our gutter helmet camera in Ocean View, we're holding at 46 degrees right now. And overall, we're looking for some scattered sprinkles and light scattered showers to continue throughout the rest of the evening hours. We're going to stay soggy, to be quite honest. Temperatures right now, 46 in Rehoboth Beach, as well as Bethany Beach and Ocean City, where we're at 46 degrees in Milton and Georgetown as well. But that's a 12 to 11 degree difference, so we're already colder before the cold really gets here. Here's the last remnants of the rain. The rain is going to stay relatively light, drizzle, heavy drizzle, light rain, that kind of a thing. But it's going to annoy you for the rest of the evening because more rain is actually on the way. And we have winds as well. But as you take a look at the rain rates, they were actually at about 1 inch. Now that it's shifted on over, that's dissipated. So we're looking actually at it beginning to dry up ever so slowly for the rest of the night. Maddie, coming up, I want to talk to you about the fact that we now have a concern for freezing weather for Tuesday night.
Paul, major repairs are planned for the Rehoboth Drawbridge, and a public information center, a session on that is being held right now. It's going to be a 10-week-long project, and CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy is live there in Rehoboth Beach. And Brendan, Deldat says this project, it won't be done until April 2026.
Maddie, I'm here at the convention center where the meeting is taking place. And if you take a look behind me, you can see people have already started filing in, and it's still early, so more may show up. I want to put on your screen now what that bridge looks like frequently each and every day. According to DelDOT, what they want to do is try and prevent erosion on that bridge with this project. And tonight's meeting will talk a little bit more about why it's needed for both drivers and boaters, how it will affect them. I spoke with someone who lives in Rehoboth Beach and says that if there can be work done to the nation's summer capital, all of those roads, then he supports it.
I really believe in infrastructure improvement because everybody benefits, whether you're driving, biking, or on a scooter. It's important, and it helps increase tourism as well. Right, tourism is big, for Rehoboth.
The meeting is just a few minutes underway, and we will be back here at 6 with more. Reporting live in Rehoboth Beach, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
Staying in Rehoboth, we're talking about the Sea Witch Festival. Always love the Sea Witch Festival. And while it is 6 months away, parking plans were actually talked about today. The Rehoboth Beach City Commissioners voted to end overnight parking for the Thursday before the parade. Now, this is to prevent people from parking their cars in front of local businesses days in advance. One business owner doesn't think, though, that it's going to make an impact on how many people are tailgating.
I don't think it's going to have any major impact. I think the avenue will still be filled with parked cars, which, unless they had a whole, we're not going to have anybody park here, and then I think that would be a real situation everyone would get pretty upset about also.
This year's Sea Witch Festival will take place from October 24th to October 26th. Come out, we'll wave at you.
Yeah, we'll be there. The north side of the Indian River Inlet is open to the public once again. Last year, waves crashed through the sand and entered the highway. There's footage of that there. And after months of the north side being closed due to reconstruction, people can now enjoy the beach, something one local took no time in doing.
My wife and I walked down there yesterday, and we think it looked really beautiful.
The second phase is dredging. That will be conducted by the Army Corps of Engineers this fall.
Tonight, city officials in Lewis are continuing the process of creating a 2% lodging tax. The proposed tax would apply to hotels, motels, and tourist homes. This is a separate tax from the 5.5% tax on short-term rentals that would apply to Airbnbs and 5% on long-term. The city says revenue from this tax would support public services. Recently, the ordinance was reviewed by the Lewis City Council in February. A public hearing is taking place tonight at 5:30. Tune in to CoastTV News at 11 as we will bring you a developing update that may come from tonight's meeting.
The Supreme Court has temporarily paused a deadline to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. The High Court agreed to a request from President Donald Trump. to give both sides more time to make their arguments. The decision means the man will stay in prison in El Salvador for now. The government has claimed he is part of the MS-13 gang, which his attorneys deny.
Real ID explained, what it means for travelers ahead of next month's flights.
And we'll have rainy roads for the rest of this evening. I'll show you what I'm tracking coming up.
First, lots of hotels, but not as many people staying in them. Why new data from Ocean City says this is the case.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
When people go on vacation, they want to enjoy a relaxing getaway, but where people are staying in Ocean City specifically is changing.
Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us why new data shows hotel occupancy in Ocean City is actually down.
Packing your things and walking into a hotel to book your vacation and enjoy the view. That used to be a common trend for vacationers, but now the tides have changed. Realtor John McGathan sees waves of people booking short-term rentals instead.
You have a family, you want more space. Once you get, especially if you start to get teenage kids, they're not willing to sleep on the same hotel bed. You got to have separate rooms for them, and I think the ability to cook meals is a factor.
The Ocean City Tourism Report shows in February there was a 4% decrease in hotel occupancy compared to the previous year, while short-term rentals saw a 6% increase, something McGathan says is uncommon during the month of February, where people usually come for a day or two. Keith Wisnett works at the Residence Inn Hotel. He thinks the weather had a big part in the lower amount of visitors in February.
We had two storms that we hadn't seen in about a decade. I can remember when I was in Dewey Beach, the last time we had storms that bad. So that had a lot to do with it.
McGathan believes the town's new short-term rental regulations were designed in part to motivate people to stay in hotels instead.
Possibly the city council has moved in this direction to help out the competition from short-term rentals and give a little bit more of that business to the hotel.
But the town says regulations are meant to keep neighborhoods from being overrun by owners looking to just rent, which only affects around 350 of the nearly 9,000 rentals in town. Regardless of the reason, only time will tell if visitors will stay in hotels or head towards the Airbnbs. I'm Kevin Zapay, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're looking for very breezy conditions for Tuesday for not only Cambridge, but Crisfield. And believe it or not, we have concern for freezing temperatures, and we have a freeze watch in effect. I'll pinpoint all that for you coming up, so don't go anywhere. It's cloudy and uncomfortable now, and it's just going to become more uncomfortable. It will turn out to be a pretty day for tomorrow, but it's also going to be pretty cold for the next couple of mornings in a row. Our Irish Eyes camera showing the overcast conditions continuing and 47 degrees right now in Lewis. Now, we will drop to 46. Not much movement with the temperatures thanks to the thick cloud cover, but also we're looking for hit and miss spotty showers throughout the rest of the evening. We're in the 40s right now, mid-40s, 46 uniformly just about everywhere. Now, we have gale wind warnings. First part of this is the winds. We have winds expected to stay very gusty from now until Tuesday evening at about 10 o'clock along the entire shore from Lewis, Rehoboth, all the way down from Ocean City down towards Chincoteague. We're looking at least 25-mile-per-hour winds or even more blustery than that. Here's the latest look at the rain. Quasi-stationary frontal boundaries began to kind of drift more to the south and dragging the majority of the rain right along with it. The rain is going to slowly come to an end, but we're still going to see some spotty drizzle and sprinkles. And behind it, not much is happening behind it, but we have a pocket of cold air that will grip us tightly and won't let go quickly. The rain amount that we've accumulated, an inch for us at the Ocean City site, just shy of a full inch for us actually in Georgetown, but not just there. We went around the horn, so to speak, nearly an inch and a half in Greenwood and Slaughter Beach, close to that in Prime Hook, more than an inch in Ellendale, Stalkley, Milford, Seaford, just over 1 1/4. In addition to that, we had just over an inch in Lewis as well as Laurel and Harbison. Same holds true for us in Dagsboro at 1.07, 1.06 for us in Indian River Inlet. Oh, an inch for us actually in Rehoboth Beach and Del Mar, just shy of a full inch. Tomorrow we're going to have cutting winds across the board everywhere. Temperature 48 for the high in Rehoboth, 50 in Georgetown and Millsboro. We are looking for winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour for us in Cambridge and 50 degrees. And we're expecting a high of only 50 degrees in Ocean City. Don't let the 50 degrees fool you. It's not going to feel that warm at all. Winds are pouring out of the north for right now. Take a look at some of these wind gusts, okay? So Tuesday morning, we're looking at winds out of the northwest up to 30 mile per hour winds for Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. Then it goes up to 33 to 35 to 36 to even 38 mile per hour wind gusts out of the northwest. So this is a dry wind and it's a cold wind. So that's the first part of the forecast. And the temperature right now, we're 12 degrees cooler now, and it's going to get even colder than that. Take a look what our future feels like. For Wednesday morning, we're looking at it feeling like 24 degrees, and that's when the cold air really kicks in. A freeze watch is in effect for Tuesday going into Wednesday for all of Sussex and Ocean City down towards Snow Hill. And we're concerned about that. The freeze potential going to be so dramatic that we're pulling out our winter graphics to let you know Wednesday morning, we're going to have at least a light freeze at the very least. And we have frost that's likely. We have freezing possible Tuesday night going into Wednesday as the cold air begins to take control. High pressure is going to dig into some cooler air coming out of southern portions of Canada and dump it on top of us. And we won't shake this any time soon. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Windy on Tuesday, sunshine on Wednesday. Don't let the sunshine fool you. We got more rain that's going to kick in for us Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And we're still going to be really cold for Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning.
Painful, but thank you, Paul. Delaware State University hoping to score big as Delaware's 2026 fiscal budget takes shape. The university is asking the state for $125 million for athletic upgrades and $10 million for operational costs. This three-part plan includes a $25 million indoor field house, $10 million for a stadium and downtown facility upgrade, and $90 million for a convocation center. DSU says this is long overdue, especially with its significant growth over the past 5 years.
In Cambridge, road work began this morning on US 50 between Bucktown Road and Austin Road. MDOT says crews will work from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Drivers should expect single lane closures while resurfacing takes place until June. Coming up, do you have your real ID? What it means, what you need to have. If you have a flight coming up, stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Is your identification real? Well, beginning May 7th, just 1 month from now, travelers aged 18 and up, you're going to have to present one of those real IDs, that compliant identification, to board a domestic flight. That includes updated state driver's licenses or other state-issued identifications with those real ID markings. Those are stamps on the right-hand corner of an accepted document. Flyers can also be used as alternate identification like a passport.
New tonight, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, has regained access to some agency-sensitive data. The ruling pauses a previous order that limited DOGE's access to some Americans' personal information held by 3 federal agencies. That included the Department of Education, Office of Personnel Management, and Treasury Department.
New in the first state, Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings has announced that pharmaceutical company Mylan has agreed to pay up to $335 million as part of a multi-state settlement that addresses the ongoing opioid crisis. According to the settlement, the company allegedly promoted drugs such as fentanyl patches as having a lower potential for abuse, despite knowing that they were highly susceptible to misuse. Under the terms of the agreement, the $335 million will be distributed to participating states over a 9-year period. To learn how these funds are going to support Delaware, you can visit CoastTV.com.
And let's take a live look outside into Dover. One more check on your rainy, chilly forecast after this.
We're staying cloudy in Dover. Temperatures staying in the mid-40s, actually. Here's the latest look at the precipitation. Starting to wind down quickly. We have gusty winds along the shore, and we're concerned about freezing Tuesday going into Wednesday. Tonight's winner, Thomas Trader of Millsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. If you need an update on the cold and the rain, well, our weather line's been updated for you. Just forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstedt and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Listen, we're going to be windy and uncomfortable Tuesday during the day, and then even more uncomfortable at night because we're going to drop to below freezing by then. And then enjoy sunshine on Wednesday, but still cold, and then rain returns Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I got 31, but thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.